Do you feel unappreciated at work? Like someone is not seeing your value? Whether that's a coworker, an administrator, or a boss, or even a teammate? Well, this video is for you. We have to learn how to encourage ourselves and don't depend on someone else to give you validation and approval. And I know that may be difficult. You think about all the things that you do on your campus or on your job and how you help people and how you go the extra mile or stay late or do all the things you need to do and no one acknowledges you. I get it. It's a horrible feeling and I've been there before. I know how it feels. But there are times that you have to encourage yourself. Don't rely on someone else to see your value. You value yourself. Sometimes people are not going to value your experience, your knowledge, or even your talent. That doesn't matter. You have to build yourself up and know who you are. Build yourself up and know who you are. You went to school. You have abilities. You have talents. You have gifts. You can do amazing things. But don't depend on someone else to tell you those things. Tell yourself those things. And I know that's easier said than done, but let me tell you how I do it. At the end of every single day, no matter if it was a good day, a bad day, or an in-between day, I look at myself in the mirror and I encourage myself with positive affirmations. I tell myself, you did a great job today. You touched a life today. You impacted a student today. You made someone feel special just by smiling and being there for them. And that means so much. Sometimes we don't even give ourselves enough credit for the things that we do. We as counselors, as educators, talk all the time about growth mindset. We teach positive affirmations. We teach resiliency, how to bounce back from adversity or challenges. But oftentimes we don't give ourselves that same grace. I encourage you from this day forward to now start giving yourself grace. Every time that you make a mistake, say, it's all right. I'm going to learn from it and I'm going to do better. Lift yourself back up and don't depend on someone else to give you your value, your self-worth, or tell you you're doing a great job. Because oftentimes it's not going to happen, especially in education. Sometimes this is a thankless job and you can put blood, sweat, and tears into all the things that you do, your programs, your events, your interventions, and someone may not even notice. And sometimes they will and they'll give you a thank you, but don't depend on someone else to give you your value. Trust me, I've been on the other end of this. For example, a couple years ago, it was National School Counseling Week and my admin team didn't acknowledge the counselors, didn't say a thank you, there was no lunch provided, there was nothing. It was literally dead silent throughout that whole week. Not a special announcement on the morning announcements, nothing at all. And it can make you be bitter. It can hurt you. It can leave you in a state of wondering and thinking about all the things that you do, blood, sweat, and tears, all the hard work that you do and no one appreciates you. It can really sour your experience on your job and it can lead to a decline. It starts there to where you're looking at what you didn't get. And then you start wondering, is it something wrong with me? Is it something wrong with my work? Why don't people value what I do? And that's a dangerous place to be. Once those thoughts start to fester and grow, they grow out of hand. And that's when it leads to imposter syndrome, low self-esteem, and underappreciating yourself. And I'm telling you, I have been there before. It's not a good place, but I have learned over the last couple years, I have learned to encourage myself. I've learned to clap for myself when I'm doing a good job. If no one else can tell me I did a good job, I will go back to my office and tell myself I did an amazing job. And that means more than anything else. Because honestly, people are fickle. Sometimes you can do something amazing and they can call you out and say you did something amazing. Or if you make a mistake and you're not at your best that day, people will notice those things too. So you can't depend on when someone else is going to give you uplifting compliments or encouragement. You have to learn how to be able to encourage yourself. Again, someone is depending on you. You may not know this, but when you are your best, you are impacting the life of someone else. Someone is looking towards you. It may not even be a student. Sometimes it is. Most times it is. But it could be another staff member. It could be another administrator. It could be a parent or a guardian that you're talking to. There have been many occasions where I've been in a parent meeting where I've had to encourage them. For example, over the summer, there was this parent who her student failed math and he ended up having to go to summer school. And she was really just downing herself. She was just saying how she was really busy. She was going through a lot of things in her personal life. She was trying to get back to school. And she said at that moment, she really didn't focus as much on the student, her child, as she should have, as far as checking his work and making sure he was doing what he was supposed to do. But I had to tell her, you've got a lot of amazing things going on. Don't be too hard on yourself. And that really uplifted her spirit. I could tell by her face, I could tell by her energy and her body language. So again, if we can't do that for ourselves, how can we be expected to do that for someone else? If I didn't have those words of encouragement deep down in my soul and in my spirit because of my spirituality and going to church and being able to listen to what my pastor says about those things, I wouldn't be able to touch someone else's life. And so I'm telling you to do the same thing. Learn to encourage yourself because someone else is depending on you. I say this because education is hard. And every single day there are going to be challenges. And you may make mistakes, or you may miss a deadline, or you may forget to do something, or you may even have a lesson that you thought you planned amazingly and it didn't go as well as you wanted to. But don't beat yourself up over it. Give yourself grace, give yourself mercy, and make sure you can learn something from that experience that you can take away and do differently. Again, I leave you with these words of encouragement because education is hard, but your worth, your work is valuable, and you are going to do something amazing today and throughout this rest of the school year. Have a great year. I hope that you send this message to someone else who needs to hear it. So please share this message. Somebody you know in your circle needs to hear this. It doesn't matter if they're not an educator. Send this to someone so that they can learn that you don't have to depend on your boss to give you thanks or praise or clap for you. You can clap for yourself. Give yourself praise. Pat yourself on your back and say that you're doing an amazing job. It starts with you and your mindset. You can make the difference in how you feel and change the atmosphere of how you go to work. Because if you don't, it can lower your self-esteem, it can make you feel devalued, and it can make you depend on people's praise. That's a horrible place to be in and a horrible feeling because you may not get what you think you deserve. At the end of the day, you encourage yourself. Think about the small wins at the end of the day. Write them down if you need to. Put them in a jar and you can come back to them later on. But think about the things that you did to impact someone else's life. And that's going to help you feel better about yourself. And then just speak words of encouragement to yourself. Look in a mirror and say, today I did great. I did an amazing job. I did the best that I can do, but tomorrow is going to be better.